What up, everybody? We are in Miami. It is Super Bowl week, and there is no bigger guest that Redskins fans want to hear from than the man to my left, Mr. Ron Rivera. Thank you very much for sitting down with us, Coach.
I appreciate it, Mitch. It's kind of exciting, being here at the Super Bowl, get an opportunity to get a little bit more of that feel, that flavor. It's something I hope we get an opportunity to experience.
Obviously.
Are you a Miami guy?
No. No, but if that's where the Super Bowl is, I'll be a Miami.
There you go. Where does Ron Rivera vacation?
Actually, I go back to the West Coast. My family's still out there. My mom and dad are still alive, fortunately for us. And so any opportunity I get on my break, I want to go out there and see them.
Well, a break is something you haven't had in the last few weeks. How has this thing been for you, Coach?
It's been busy, Mitch. It really has. The biggest thing is, more so than anything else, is being the first one to accept the head coaching job. Being the first one to get your entire staff into place has been really good for us. We've been able to, put our offensive, defensive, special team schemes together, finishing up those books. We've had an opportunity to start the evaluation process of our football team, our entire football team. And once we get back off of this break coming up, we'll go right back to work and we'll start identifying our core. A lot of people have been asking me questions about it, and I've been telling everybody we have not sit down completely and mapped out who our core players are. Once we do that, we'll know the direction we're heading once we get into free agency, once we get into the draft, once we start talking about our own guys. We've got a lot of good football players, guys that I really do think can help us. But as I said, we have not got down to the nuts and bolts of it. We're going to start that February 10th as it leads us into the into free agency and the draft.
I'd like to start kind of on a more 30,000-foot view.
Okay, sure.
I have this mental Venn diagram, right?
Okay.
There are coaches that are respected, and then there are coaches that are liked. I've talked to a lot of people that know you from Charlotte, that know your work in Carolina and San Diego, and as a player, all of these things. You seem to be one of the few that's both respected and liked. One, is that accurate? And two, how do you do it?
Well, I hope it is accurate.
I think it is.
But I will say the biggest thing more than anything else is, you have to start from the beginning. You got to work your way up, and that's what we're going to do once we get started. We're starting from the beginning. We're starting from the bottom, and we're going to work our way up. The thing that we got to do is we got to be able to establish what I really think is probably the most important thing. It's one of the things that kind of drew me to my conversations with Mr. Snyder, and that was, I want to be able to go in and with everybody's help, establish our culture, okay? And I want that culture to be a sustainable winning culture, okay? And not just winning football games, but winning in life, doing things the right way. That's what I really believe in. And that's what, I learned that from being around guys like Andy Reid and Lovie Smith and Norv Turner and Dave Wanstead, and then playing for Mike Dick, guys that believe that you do things a specific way. If you do them the right way, you give yourself more opportunities to win. But if you treat people the right way, you give yourself more opportunities to develop the right kind of players. And that's what we're hoping to do.
You talk about building culture, and I'm sure it's second nature for you, but how do you do that? How do you walk into a place and start changing things?
Well, first of all, the focus has to be on whatever your vision is. One of the things that we talked about, the vision has to be, we want to develop a winning and sustainable culture. So again, now it's not accepting certain things that happen. If that's not the right way, we have to be able to point it out and say, that's not how we do things here. This is how we do it. And eventually, if people don't want to buy into what the vision is, people want to agree with what you want to do and how you want, we're going to get rid of them. That's just the way that has to be. You can't accept it.
That is so refreshing.
So different than what we know for the organization.
Well, again, I'm not going to talk about what happened before me, but I'm going to talk about what's happening with me and what's going to happen as we go forward. Because it's that old saying, why the windshield's so big and the mirror's so small.
So small, exactly.
We want to know what's in front of us.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is establish the fact that, we are going to come out and we're going to say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. No, you're not doing it the right way. Do it this way. One thing that I have said to a lot of the players that I've talked with is, we're going to ask you to do it a specific way. If you do it our way and we win, the praise is yours. If we do it our way and we lose, it's my fault. Okay, I will take the responsibility. See these shoulders? They're big enough. They really are.
You do look like you're still lifting pretty good.
I'm trying on it. But it's again, as I said, I've learned those from the coaches I've been around, and that is, you can't be afraid to be accountable. Because if I can hold myself accountable, that means I have to hold you accountable. I get to hold you accountable. I get to hold him accountable. So that's what's going to happen. I know I'm talking, it's all good words, but those are things that now I put it out there. I have now walked the walk.
They'll tell you that word you just used, accountability. How many times have I used it?
Brian Mitchell's been screaming about that for years.
Years.
And honestly, I think what you are most excited, and you guys know each other, you were in Philly together. Let's be clear about that. But what you are most excited about this guy, you love this organization, B. And you want them to be winners, and you think Ron will hold them to that fire.
You know, as I was around Ron in Philly and then watched him in Carolina and then listened to him on the press conference, he talks like my dad talked. My dad's a military guy, and I know how much I love and believe in my dad. And I see the same thing. I see the work ethic, and I think that's the whole thing about it. He's talking about we are going to get this thing together. You know, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it by myself, but also I need you to come along and do it a certain way. And I just think when you stay to that, you're consistent with it, it's easy for people to follow that.
Yes, and you have to be, because, again, you know, the one thing that and I learned this from Jimmy Johnson. When I was working for Dave Wanstead, Coach Johnson would come in and spend a little bit of time with us. And, you know, David told Jimmy he thought I was one of the guys that had a chance to be a head coach. And so Jimmy gave me a couple pieces of advice. The first thing he said was, hey, stick to what you know. You know defense, you know special teams. Stick to those. And then he said, another thing, too, is how you're going to have to treat players. He said, you have to remember this about treating. You have to treat everybody fair. But you can't treat everybody the same. Everybody has a value. Everybody has a worth.
There you go.
But everybody has to be treated fair. So I will, I will do the best I can to stick to those principles of treating everybody fair, treating everybody the way that they need to be treated in order to give a fair chance, a fair opportunity. And I've tried to do that. I tried to do that in Carolina. I tried to stick to those values, and I think that's one of the really cool things about it is if you ask guys to live a certain way and tell them, hey, this is how you have to be, this is how you have to do things, you can be part of what we do. Okay, so if you do it our way, you get the success. If you do it our way and we don't, it's my fault. Now, if you do it your way and we screw it up, guess what? You better. No, but you have to tell them that, and then you have to hold them accountable. You know, again, they've said it. If you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk, and that's what I intend to do.
I want to ask you this. So I'm in the building here and there. I go on Larry Michaels' show. I've noticed a few physical things in the building, and I'm not. The ping pong tables it's kind of a joke. It's a punchline, right? I noticed.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it is. Because, again, the reason I'm doing certain things is I want everyone to understand that the most important thing in that building is the football team. Okay? And they're going to say, well, ping pong, you develop. No, it's one guy at a time. But it's taking away from what the real focus is other than the team, and that is winning football games.
Sure.
Okay? So when we're there, we want to – a great little saying, okay? Be where your feet are. Okay, when you're at our facility, everything you do with your feet there at the facility should be geared towards improving you as a football player, improving you as a teammate, improving you as an athlete. So do those things. That's why I did that. Again, I'm not doing it because I'm all omnipotent. No, I want everybody to understand. You know, like there are going to be certain rules, like your cell phone. Your cell phone, you can have that inside the locker room, at your locker room. You're not going to have it in the training room. You're not going to have it in the weight room. You're not going to have it in the meeting room. You're going to have it there. That's where. That's going to be where the rules are. I mean, we're going to follow the rules. The rules are there in place for a reason. Okay, and we all have to. But we have to.
It's a new day.
You know what? It's not necessarily. I would say it's just the things that he's talking about.
Says the guy with his cell phone on the table, by the way.
I'm at work.
Rod's checking his phone.
See, this is work, and we need that.
I understand.
Now, well, here's my question.
But the thing about it's just about focus.
Yes.
That's the whole thing about it. If you're focusing on what you're supposed to be doing, you have no choice but to be good.
One of the greatest, that's one of my favorite words is focus. You'll hear it. You'll talk about, we got to focus in on this. We got to focus on that. Are we focusing on the right things? You know, it's funny because people says, I have a real good friend who's helping me with this. He's a retired lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, okay? His name is J.C. Glick. He's heading up a group of people now that are taking retired NFL players and veterans and merging them together, okay, to work together. And one of the neat things that he told me more so about all this stuff is don't make things that are interesting important. Don't make – those things aren't important. They might be interesting, but they're not important. What's important is specific things, and those are the things that we're going to focus on. Interesting, okay, that's cool, but this is what's important.
So for those of us, hold on. Here's where I was going though. I noticed Ashburn, the physical headquarters used to be very cordoned off. There were closed doors where you needed badges to get around, to get to the coach's part of the building. I noticed those doors are gone. Physically, I think you took the doors off.
Now, you want to know the true story behind that?
I do.
Yes.
Metaphorically, it is about the open door policy, okay? But the truth of the matter was, I was working on something. I had papers in one hand, I had a book in the other. I'm looking through it, I look up, and there's the door. And I said, "Are you kidding me? We got to get these out of here." And so they get taken down. And one of the employees came to me and said, "Coach, I really appreciate you taking the doors down." He said, "You're serious about an open door policy?" I said, "Well, I truly am." Because when I spoke to the whole organization, I told everybody, I said, "Look, I can't do this by myself. I need all your help. If something's not right, please come tell me. Because if it's wrong and you let it continue to persist and you don't tell me, you're as guilty as if you were doing it yourself." So I want everybody to understand that there's important to me as a player. If there's something that's wrong with what we're doing, please help me correct it. I can't see everything. I don't know everything, and I can't do this by myself, okay? I can't cheer for this team by myself. I'm going to ask the fans to come out and cheer and be there for us, because I can't be the only one there. I mean, we're going to need 70, 75,000 people screaming and yelling when we got Dallas coming and we got the Giants coming. And I don't want them wearing blue. Okay, I don't want them wearing green. I want the burgundy and gold back out there. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what we're trying to do.
So is now a good time to bring up the air conditioning in the media annex?
Absolutely.
You mean the weekly steak dinners in the media annex? That's the one.
Yeah, exactly.
So for those of us that have covered the team for a while, this is a breath of fresh air. It's all brand new for us. It's something that we haven't seen in Ashburn. Is this the norm across the league? Is this the kind of the way that most teams kind of run things, or are you? I
can't tell you. I really can't.
You've been in Carolina. You've been in Chicago.
I can tell you right now,
as a player and coach.
When I was with Andy, a lot of us learned the way Andy did things. When I was with Lovey, a lot of us learned some of the things that Lovey did. And when I was in San Diego, I've taken things that Norv has done.
Right.
And I've taken things Dave won. It's a little bit of everything. And again, the truth of the matter is it's about how the guy does it. Okay, he's what the organization's going to reflect. And so I take that very seriously. I really do. And I also take it very seriously when I go out in the community. Okay, because I really do believe in being involved in the community. Stephanie and I had a plan when we got to Carolina. We got involved with 3 charities. Primarily, we got involved with the USO because of my family's military background, my dad's service to our country. We got involved with families, Ronald McDonald House. Okay, we really feel very strongly about that. And we got involved with the Humane Society because we're pet lovers. So we're going to make that commitment to the community as well. We're not just coming to take. We're coming to give back, and that's going to be part of it too, and we're going to ask our players to do that.
That's great.
Let me ask you this. We talked previously, and you said this is the honeymoon period.
Absolutely.
Everything's great.
Yep.
There has been systemic failure in Washington for the better part of 20 years. Are you ready to take that on?
Yes, I am. I mean, that's why I didn't take this job for any other reason. I didn't take it for the money, okay? Because I was the first one to take a job.
Right. You could have done the roulette. You could have gone to Cleveland.
Played everybody off each other.
But it's not. But that's not important to me. What's important to me was I told everybody in my press conference when I left Carolina is the fit. The fit. I sat down, spent time with the owner, talked with Mr. Snyder, listened to him. He listened to me. And then we talked some more. And then I talked to people that knew him. I talked to Joe Gibbs. Yeah. I talked to people from the NFL front office. I asked their advice. I asked their opinion. I talked to players. I talked to coaches that had been around him. I talked to a coach that worked for him that had a family tragedy that Mr. Snyder really supported and helped. So when you have people telling you these types of things, and then you had this perception from him 15, 20 years ago, it didn't marry. So the more I visited with him, and then the opportunity after I visited him to sit down with Joe Gibbs for about 6 hours and listen to Coach Gibbs talk about it. That was cool. I'll tell you what was really cool too. Yeah. We started talking football, and he pulls out his notepad and starts drawing these plays up and talking about motion and shit and how it affects defenses and stuff. I was getting fired up, and I kept thinking to myself, God, I got to get him to sign that so I can take it.
Got to earn this today.
That's the dude, man.
It was cool.
You're in Carolina, and obviously Joe Gibbs is down there. Are you a car guy? Are you a racing guy?
I've enjoyed it. I learned to enjoy it. I didn't know a lot about NASCAR till I got there.
Yeah.
I went to several of the races. And I had a good time, really did. I got to see his team. I got to see Rick Hendrick's team. I got to see Ganassi Racing. I mean, there were so many cool things about that sport. People don't really understand.
When you're there, it's the intensity of those cars.
I rode with Denny
unreal.
Hamlin, 20 laps.
Yeah.
How fast you going to that thing?
We went about
170.
Yeah, but how silly is that? Now think about this, okay? He that meant he was in the right seat,
right
passenger seat.
He was closer to the wall.
That meant he was how close? About an inch and a half.
We actually hit the wall.
You rubbed the wall.
The race. We hit it. Yeah. We went.
How terrified were you?
I was. Coach
You're
Gibbs
more scared of alligators
Coach
than
Gibbs said he saw the video. He said, "Dude, you're crazy."
Yeah.
Because I was like, let's go.
No.
Brian, I've never seen the video. I know you're crazy.
Believe me, I would not have gotten in the car. You're going to ask my wife. Yeah, Stephanie. She'll tell you I'm driving Miss Daisy.
You're a slow driver, dude?
Yes, I'm a slow driver.
By the way,
Like speed limit or below?
Welcome to D.C.
I'm at the speed limit or 5 above. No,
Well, you won't be at the speed limit. There's a lot of traffic.
Oh, no, it's too bad. They're going around me. I hate to tell you this, but on my way back to where I'm staying right now, I get on the highway. It's, 267, right?
Yeah.
Go
Down here,
past the
yeah,
airport,
sure.
then you make a little turnaround like you're going to Washington.
Oh, the toll road, you're saying?
Yeah, then I get on the toll road. I get in the second lane to the right, and I just feel the cars come up behind me and slow down. And I know they're cussing me, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, I just hope they don't figure it out it's me.
No, those cops on the toll road are no joke.
Yeah.
They pull
You
people
gotta
over
tint your
all
windows,
the time.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Tint your windows so they don't know it's you.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't tell them too dark in Virginia. They'll
true.
give you a razor and say, strip it.
Hold on. Did you get Joe to sign the plate?
No, I didn't. I
What?
I
What are we
should
doing?
have. I was all excited. I mean, I'm one of those guys too that every now and then I get to be fanboy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about him. I mean, here's a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, Super Bowl winner. I mean, just with the history and tradition of who the Redskins are, I was really truly excited. And when I got a chance to go to his house and see the different things, I mean, he had some real cool Redskin memorabilia that was awesome. But he did have one thing that was really cool. Was he had a piece of a wooden goalpost from the old Rose Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, that was cool as heck. It really was.
When you think about this guy, played for Gibbs, played for Andy Reid, and you put it on your Instagram, you've talked about what those guys mean to you. I want to ask you this sincerely. You played for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That 85 Bears team is legendary. Everybody knows that, right? The Skins were damn good in that era, too.
There were 6 teams in that era. If you really think about the 6 teams, okay? Buffalo,
Sure.
okay? And the other 80s, Oakland, okay? And then you sit there and then Denver later in the process. But then you look at in the NFC, the Giants, the Bears, the Niners, and the Skins.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean, there were 6 teams, maybe 7 that everybody pointed. Those were the teams that were always knocking each other out. And unfortunately, we got knocked out more than anybody else. I mean, we only won 1 Super Bowl in that time.
Mm-hmm.
We should have won more, but we kept coming up against San Francisco. We kept coming up against New York. We kept coming up against Washington. Washington knocked us out 2 years in a
Darryl
row.
Green, the punt return.
Yeah.
13-7.
So here's
But
what
you're
I
rocking
wanted.
that Super Bowl ring.
Here's what I wanted to ask, though. You haven't been in D.C. yet, right? FedEx Field has too many fans wearing other jerseys, right? Like we all
agree.
We all know
Agree.
the pitfalls of what's happened. Do you recognize how huge this fan base is and what a beast it can be?
I remember
He
when it
talked
was-
about coming to RFK.
Yeah, I remember coming in when I was playing, going to RFK and having to deal with that. Then when I was coaching, going in it, and then seeing it as a head coach. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's what I want to create. I want to create that. You know, I want us to understand that we need the fans to come back out to support this team. It's going to be hard the first few years. I mean, the first year and a half or 2. I mean, it's going to be. Because we're going to start from the bottom. Great piece of advice I got from John Madden. You know, I said, hey, how do I do? He said, start from the bottom. Start from the base fundamentals of football, running, tackling, blocking, catching, throwing, quarterback center exchange. Every little detail you have to start with. You can't expect to start here. Start here, Ron, and build it one at a time.
Ron, thank you sincerely for sitting down with us. The stuff you're doing with USAA is incredible. I saw your tweet about sending somebody to the Super Bowl. It obviously means something to you.
It does. Big part of it comes from my father's service to the country. Did 32 years. My oldest brother's the first responder. You know, so we've rallied around them, and we've tried to support those folks as much as possible. My father's an original USAA member. You know, he started way back in the 50s. I started in 1986. I inherited from him, being a dependent. You become a member if you want, and that's what happened. And Stephanie and I, we've had it ever since, and we passed it on to our 2 kids. So we have a little bit of a legacy going with USAA.
Before you go, Coach, when you were playing Mr. Mom in 2000, Stephanie was coaching, how tough was that? Because I just talked to her about it.
Stephanie, my wife Stephanie coached with the Mystics when I was with Andy Reid, and it was the year they got into the playoffs. So Stephanie goes away when I have my month off. She's in Washington, so I'm up in Philly with the kids. It's me and the kids. They go on.
How old are the kids? At that point.
Okay, Courtney was in the 2nd grade, I believe. And Christopher was in the 8th grade. No, 9th grade. Think about 9th grade. He just started high school. So now here I am, Mr. Mom. All right. And so she's on this 10-game swing out on the West Coast and playing those teams out there. I'll tell you right now, it's a completely different understanding of parenting. I mean, that was parenting. That was fatherhood. Oh, my God.
Those are some tough ages, too. Right, that first year of high school when you're a teenager.
And
like,
a 2nd grader.
And then I bring the kids down to D.C. because they'd given her they'd set her up in an apartment, furnished apartment in Alexandria. So I bring the kids down there, and, we're going to hang out, stuff like that. Are you kidding? She got up. She left early in the morning. I had to get breakfast for the kids, get the kids dressed. Then I had to do something, so I took them down to the museums. We're down hanging at the museums. We go to lunch, then come back, and then we had to do something else, then finally come back. So she doesn't get back to like 6:37. She's tired. She's exhausted. She don't want to talk. So
you're probably exhausted too.
Yeah. So now I have a deep appreciation of what she's done or what she did as a coach's wife for all those years.
I also understand that she's a single-digit handicap.
She is. She's a terrific golfer.
Yeah. Is she better than you?
Yes.
Is she better than him? What's your handicap these days?
I don't know.
You know what he is.
He's full of it. He knows what it is.
When he says, I don't know, that should tell you first.
I'm a 5.8 right now.
There you go. Yeah, see, he and Stephanie they would have a good match.
Well, we were saying the other day that every kid you have, your handicap goes up by two strokes.
Without a doubt.
So I have 2 kids, and I'm now an 18.
Yeah.
It sounds, once upon a time,
28.
It depends what kind of round we're having.
There you go.
If it's an early morning or a late afternoon.
There you go.
Ron, I know you got to run. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. Good to see you
Sincerely.
guys.
Thank you very
We
much.
get you a sign football real quick, too?
Yeah, please. Do you mind?
No, that's not on my contract.
Put it on Sean Barbieri's tab. Fans are so excited. It's a breath of fresh air, and I think everyone I've run into down here tells me it's a home run hire and that the Skins are lucky to have it.
Yeah, but as I did say, though, the biggest thing we all have to understand, again, I can't do this by myself. I need the right coaches. I need the players to buy in. I need support. And so we can do this together. And I said that to Mr. I said that to Mr. Snyder, I need your help. And he's been so receptive to a lot of things. He's been supportive, and I've really appreciated that. And then the guys that we've brought in, Rob Rogers, who I know very well from when we were in Carolina, a guy that really believes in the vision that we have. So I'm excited about the potential. I'm excited for what the growth can be, and I really do think we have a chance.
So you know this. Last year, Atlanta Super Bowl, Joe Gibbs sat down with us for about a half hour. Now you're sitting down with us for about a half hour in the Super Bowl. It's pretty interesting. You talk about your core players.
Yeah.
I know
that's one of them.
Come on in. I know that you're not identifying. Come on, Terry.
I know Terry is.
But you said you're not identifying your core guys until February 10th.
That's right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this
guy is one.
Terry McLaurin is one of the core players.
Well, I can tell you this much. He most certainly is. He's a young man that when you put the tape on, you see a guy that competes. And that was one of the things that was really pleasing for me. One of the things that again, as I said, Mr. Snyder and I, we talked early December, and he said, hey, watch him. And I watched the guys. With the exception of the second half of the Dallas game, they fought and competed. The second half got a little bit away from them in the last game, but those games leading up to it, they competed. They had a chance to win, okay? And as I watched them, that was the thing that impressed me, was how the young guys played. The thing that everybody got to understand, these young guys, these last 3 draft classes, those guys played a lot of football. So next season will not be big for them. They have had that experience. They know what it's like. When he lines up, and it doesn't matter who he lines up again, he's played against some of the best players already. He knows what it feels like. Mm-hmm. That's the positive. That's the plus. Dwayne Hassan getting under center, he's already seen that. He understands what it feels like. That's the positive part. Now, we've got to do our job as coaches. We've got to teach them our system. We've got them to buy into our system so they'll go out and play fast. We can't overcomplicate things. We're going to start, and as I said, we're starting here from the base fundamentals of football, and as we go, we'll build it. He's got that kind of ability. Again, knowing who he is, knowing the program he came from, Ohio State, it's the right type of program. When you bring guys in, you want guys that have experienced what it feels like to win and compete. We've got to get that going here, and we've got to do it the right way. And yes, he's one of those guys.
I'm putting you on the spot. Terry McLaurin, Redskins wide receiver. How excited are you for him?
I mean, you hear the passion in his voice. I mean, I got to meet Coach Rivera back at the Combine last year, and we formed a great relationship there in just a short amount of time. And then I got to rekindle that coming back to Ashburn and meeting with him and the staff. And I think his vision is great. He's a guy who's trying to build his team on toughness first. And I really believe that. And the fundamentals is very important as well to me. And the work ethic that it takes day in, day out. You can't have any off days in the NFL. Coming from that type of mentality in college, I feel like it's going to be a smooth transition for me and hopefully for the rest of our team.
How do you get so mature, man?
Let's let Ron go. He's a coach's dream. I've given him that nickname.
He was a two-time captain of Ohio State. That he matured very early in his career because he understands the importance. And again, that's part of the process of doing the things that this team has done in the last 3 drafts. Look at who they drafted. Look at the players that they've drafted. They've drafted guys that have had the ability to be leaders. They've been captains, so they know what it takes. That's the type of guy we want around us.
Coach, I've said this 5 times now. I am thanking you, and I am officially. There's an army of PR people that want you to go somewhere else.
Okay.
You can stay here as long as you want, but I want you to know that I understand if you need to leave.
No, I do have to.
You can't leave.
I do got things to do, but I'm going to leave you guys in the good hands of Terry because those are some good hands, and I'm excited for him and for our
Very
football
good
team.
hands. Did you see the catch in Green Bay?
Yes,
I know you watched that tape.
I did. I saw the one that unfortunately led up to the concussion, which I thought was a hell of a catch too.
Appreciate that.
Ron, thank you so much, man. Sincerely.
Appreciate you.
We're excited. All right, 15 seconds. You wait 15 seconds. Then we're going to talk to this guy, Terry McLaurin. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, thank you again. Sincerely appreciate it. We're coming right back with Terry McLaurin. You're going to want to hear what he has to say. A coach's dream.
It's the Mid-Atlantic or wherever we are.
If you ever needed to know how smart Terry McLaurin is, he just looked at me and said, "This weather beats the Midwest." You ain't lying, dude.
Definitely.
You know what I've done? I've started a new policy in my life.
Free feet?
Free feet is an existing policy. My new policy, anytime you can jump in the ocean before 10 a.m., you do it.
Yeah.
It invigorates your day. Are you an ocean guy? Because Brian is scared of the ocean. I want you to know
I
that.
didn't say I'm scared of the ocean.
You're scared of
I said
crocodiles
I'm
in
not
the
dealing with
ocean.
alligators and crocodiles.
There's no alligators, dude.
Yes, they are. I just showed you a video.
The same things kind of are in the back of my head.
See?
I went
Think alike.
to Turks and Caicos with my girlfriend after the season was over with, and she kind of forced me to snorkel. And I'm out there in 19 feet of water. I'm kind of like, I got a life jacket on. I'm still kind of like, I don't know. But it was a cool experience kind of just seeing that.
So you're a pool guy.
I'm a pool guy. Yeah,
He's a snorkel guy.
Yeah.
The ocean is where
That
it's
was
at,
actually
man.
my first time snorkeling.
It's cool though,
and
right?
it was crazy because the captain said, "Yeah, if this is your first time snorkeling, probably this is not the day for you to do it." It's my
It's a
first
little
time.
rough.
Did you see anything cool?
Did you
What'd
see any crazy animals?
I didn't really get to see anything.
Because
too
I
cool.
ran up on a shark when I was in the Bahamas one
Really?
time, and I'm
That
like,
would
you
freak
know
me
what? I'm in their territory, and I'm going to respect that.
Exactly.
Look, he's doing it again. Do you notice, Mitch?
Yeah.
Do you know what Brian Mitchell does?
What?
when he's got his Super Bowl ring on, you ever seen a girl when she first gets engaged and she
Every
always
picture
has
is like with her finger out.
B-Mitch with that Super Bowl ring on, he always
make sure
happens
people know. You gotta make sure they know.
That's what I try to do with all my rings at Ohio State. I'd be glad to get one of those. I got to.
Yeah.
How much you want one of those?
Man, bad. That's the first thing I said when I got here. And I met with my agent. I said, I got to play in this game. Like, I have to. And all the individual accolades are good and well, but the team accolades is what I'm really excited about for the future. So I got to play in this game.
How motivating is it to walk into Redskins Park in Ashburn, see those 3 Super Bowl trophies, and know the history that they got there?
I mean, that's the biggest thing. You almost feel some type of pressure to live up to that, because there's so many great players and so many great teams that came through that city, and it just gives us a unique opportunity to kind of right the ship. The number one thing that kind of just stood out to me being a first-year player was how fashion the fan base was. And I didn't take it personal how aggressive they could be sometimes, because, I mean, they're passionate and they're hungry to win, like we all are. But, I feel like we're going in the right direction with Coach Rivera.
Let me ask you this. You went through a lot as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
How real does it seem that there's a hard reboot on the organization now?
I don't really have a big experience of how off seasons work, but I mean, from what you've seen, it's like it's a new organization from a front office standpoint, and I'm sure there may be some roster changes as well. But I mean, I feel like that's the best way to kind of start a new chapter in the organization. Some things haven't worked out in the past, and they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I feel like we've taken the right steps forward, and it's just a matter of doing it now. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk leading up to the season. I'm not a big talker, so I'm just looking forward to get back to work.
You had a terrific rookie season, and I know going from my rookie season to my next year, I was anxious to get back into it, because you want to. Has that been the same way for you?
Man, I'm so hungry to get back out there on the football field. I mean, once you kind of get through the aches and pains after probably 2 or 3 weeks after the season was over, I was feeling pretty healthy again, and I've been telling everyone, man, I just can't wait to play football again. Like, I truly just love playing at the highest level for a great organization. It's this dream come true. Like, I'm living my dream. So, I'm down here after the Super Bowl kind of wraps up. I'll be down here training, getting ready for the next season. I'm not hanging my hat on what I did last year. I'm just looking forward to taking it to another level with my teammates.
It's a coach's dream. Listen to him talk.
Right.
Exactly.
Did you know about the rookie receiving record and how close you were?
I did.
You were 8 yards short or something. I mean,
I did kind of like, I think 2 weeks. So the week prior to Dallas, I had kind of got an inclination that I was in the ballpark of it. And at first it was kind of disappointing, because you wanted to make that type of history, but I feel like there's going to be more records to be made, and hopefully it's the ones with those rings over there. So, that's what's most important. But to kind of come in and just be as productive as I was for this organization, my teammates and my coaches. I mean, that's what I wanted to do, being drafted. I didn't care where I was drafted. I just knew I was going to come in with the mentality to help wherever I was needed. So it's coming in special teams. I was big on that during camp, and then I kind of got dwindled away from that and became a potential number 1 wide receiver, which is where
it's not potential.
Yeah,
you just
you're
are.
Yeah, right.
Like, wait till August when fantasy football drafts start happening, and wait for your Twitter. Like, it's going to be madness.
Wait till we're in Richmond, and last year you were the 3rd round pick, and people knew who you were, but they didn't know who you
know
were.
How many
That's
people
the craziest thing.
They know you are now.
That's the craziest thing now. Just I was on vacation, and one gentleman who was a Redskins fan wanted me to be in his vacation photos with his wife. I'm like, man, I'm in a swimsuit, you're dressed up. He was just a big fan of mine and a big fan of the Redskins, and just the passion that they have and how happy they are to have a guy like myself. I mean, it's very humbling. I don't take that lightly, and I really do appreciate it. And it makes me want to work harder to be everything that this team wants me to be.
A coach's dream.
Exactly. We joked about it early in the season that, we've covered the team. B-Mitch played there. Everyone's been around it. you're like a 10-year veteran. It's like your first year here.
Yeah.
It's like you've been around the block before.
I appreciate that.
I want to ask this.
Also,
You are close with Dwayne.
Mm-hmm.
You played together at Ohio State. Ron and Scott Turner have both said, we love Dwayne, we're invested in Dwayne, we need Dwayne to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think his rookie year didn't go the way he wanted,
Right.
especially didn't start the way he wanted?
Right.
There's legitimate questions about how invested the previous staff was. This staff, there doesn't seem to be any of those questions. How ready do you think Dwayne is for 2020 and to make a leap?
I think he's hungry and he has a chip on his shoulder. I think he kind of got a taste of what it's like to start having some success because he started to have a string of games where he was playing really, really well.
Last 6 quarters, completed 70% of his passes.
He was playing really, really well. And, that's a testament to the hard work that he was putting in. He kind of rebooted the way that he was preparing before, and he kind of just started new with the way he attacked each and every week, the way he wanted to perform on the field and be a leader for our team. I feel like you can't necessarily select leaders. And at quarterback, I feel like it's very important to have that as one of your leaders on the team. And but the biggest thing I've noticed in the NFL is it's all about action. And he showed that action. I feel like towards the end of the season, he really started to gain a lot of respect from our vets and a lot of our coaches as well as a guy who really we're excited about for the future.
when Coach was talking, I was looking in your eyes. You could see you were getting excited.
Yeah.
And what is it about his mindset, the things he said so far that really gets you excited about this year would be a much better year?
Just the hunger that was in his voice, the passion. It's just great to hear that from a guy who's had so much success, and it seems like he was a first-year coach. That's what it sounded like, you know what I mean? And, he has the track record to do the things that he's saying that he's going to do, but he's not hanging his hat on that. He's ready to get to work, and, there's going to be a lot of talk leading up to this upcoming season, but it's not going to matter if we don't put in the results. So, I'm excited about what he's going to bring to our organization.
One quick one maybe longer one. I know you got to run.
Let's start with the longer one, then we'll get the quick one at the end.
No, the longer one's going to be fun. Have you talked to Scott Turner yet? How excited are you for a new offense?
Yeah, I got to go and meet the staff after vacation, and Scott Turner, he's great. He's a young coach. He's really looking to make his mark in the NFL as a guy who's a premier play caller and offensive coordinator, but he doesn't make it about himself. He makes it about the personnel. And the biggest thing that struck me when I spoke to him, we didn't really get into X's and O's, but he's doing something that he's creating this offense to cater around the weapons that we have. We got so many weapons on offense. Hopefully we can keep everybody healthy, and just the excitement that he had in his voice about the downfield shots, the downfield throws. That's where I feel like we could really excel because Dwayne can really make those throws. And just the ability to spread teams out, attack them through the air, attack them on the ground is something I'm really excited about.
All right, this is the other one.
Quick one.
You're obviously not in charge of the number 2 pick, but you hold the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
And you played at Ohio State. Chase Young played at Ohio State. I'm just curious, your scouting report on Chase Young.
People ask me because I play with all 3 of the Bosa brothers.
Sure.
And they say,
"That's wild."
Yeah, it's crazy. I've gotten to see some.
The DNs
really
that Ohio State's pumping out is something.
Good thing you didn't have to. Did you have to chip any of those guys?
Nah, I didn't have to do that. I didn't want any parts of that.
When you're the number 1 receiver, you're not chipping. You're not chipping.
I know.
But Coach Johnson does a great job with those guys because they come in so technically sound. Bosa deserves that. Nick Bosa deserves the Rookie of the Year because you just see how dominant he was as a rookie. And I feel like Chase has those same intangibles and just the physical gifts that he has. You're going to see him when he gets there. Everybody asks me about Chase Young. I'm like, he's probably a more solid Montez Sweat. So you see how big Montez is, and then to have another guy on the edge like that, I think that's just a really unique opportunity. But I trust our front office to make the best decision for our team. We had a really productive rookie class, and I'm just looking forward to whoever we draft. But I'm a big Chase Young fan, not just as his former teammate, but just as a football fan, just the way he dominated. And for the people who are kind of questioning the way he necessarily didn't produce towards the end of the year, he was getting double and triple teamed by some really good play.
I'm not questioning that.
Yeah, so the stuff
Somebody
about that
else
is
gotta
just
step up at that when that happens.
exactly. So I'm excited for him to be able to live out his dream, but I think it'd be really cool to have him where he grew up.
You got all these Buckeyes in Ashburn.
Hey, we got to kind of counteract all those Alabama guys.
Yeah. Hey, you got Cardell at the XFL. You got Dwayne yourself. All the Buckeyes. You guys are something to take over.
look around this room, like realize where you are.
Yeah.
You can go on ESPN set, NFL, like everyone wants you. I know we talked in the fall about the youth entrepreneurship program that you're heading up and what that means to you. You're now at Radio Row at the Super Bowl with this kind of opportunity to talk about something that's important to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very unique opportunity for myself. I don't take that lightly at all. I mean, first and foremost, it's a blessing. I mean, just to be able to be in the position I am, living my dream, and then to be a part of an organization that believes in the person that I am, not just on the field but off the field, and bringing me an opportunity to really work with youth entrepreneurs. I'm very humbled that they wanted to partner with someone like myself, because I feel like our views align, just the importance on education for the youth in the D.C. metro area, and their ability to just give them all the tools they need to be successful, not just in business but in life, the life skills that they need, the study habits that they need to develop over time, and just giving them the chance to be kids and dream, man. I mean, that's how I started. That's how I got here, just being a 7-year-old kid and dreaming I wanted to be in the NFL. It's not just enough to dream. Youth entrepreneurs gives them the opportunity to learn the skills that help them get to their dreams and their goals. So it's a really unique opportunity, and I'm very excited to get more and more involved, and it's a great opportunity.
What's the website so folks can check it out?
It's actually youthentrepreneurs.org.
Okay. I knew you were the dude, Philly, week 1. You had a breakout game. You came on post game with us, and then I met your family, and then it was like, this ain't a fluke. This kid's the real deal.
I appreciate that.
And your pot, like, it was just, you're it, dude.
I appreciate it.
And I know that's probably a lot to try to process.
Yeah.
But the opportunity you have and the opportunity you're trying to help others get is astounding.
I appreciate that, and I'm glad I get to kind of touch on that, because I never really wanted to focus on where I was drafted, or I've gone through a lot of adversity growing up, but just one thing that always stood firm was my faith and my work ethic. Those are two things that I never wanted to waver from. That was instilled from me from my parents, and I knew if I put in the right amount of hours, the right amount of work, then the results were going to come. And you got to be ready for your moment. I still have that mantra on my Twitter, I believe, just trying to make the most of my opportunities. Because the more opportunities you get is based off of the ones that you seize. So, I'm really looking forward to the future. I'm not satisfied with what I've done last year. I'm looking forward to build on that, not just individually, but for our team.
It's a Sean McVay saying that I've adopted, and I try to kick every day's butt.
Yeah.
I try to win that day, right? And it's attacking success. And that is what you do every day. And I can't help but go back. You posted on your Instagram the 10-year-old letter from Terry to Terry.
That was wild. That was crazy.
Do you allow yourself to think, I'm here?
Yeah. There's times I'm like, wow, like I'm really in the NFL living my dream. Like, there's not too many people in the world that can say they wake up every day and do what they absolutely love. And I love football, and I love what it brings, but the platform and just the opportunity to do what I love to do. And being 10 years old and writing that down,
it's crazy.
I mean, it seems crazy, like, to everybody else, and it's even more crazy now that it came to fruition. But it's not a surprise to me, because I knew the type of work I was going to put in. My parents really raised me right. I had a really big work ethic and great faith in my life. So that's why I think it's just so important for kids to dream. But I think you got to take it a step further and put in the necessary work and time that it takes to get there, because it just didn't happen overnight. And you're going to have some setbacks, but you got to be able to react to adversity and overcome it.
Lastly, real quick, was there one moment from your rookie year that stands out as your NFL moment? Not off the top. Is there one?
The catch in
thing?
Green Bay.
There's a couple.
Or the home run in Philly.
The home run in Philly. That's the one. That's what I was
There's
thinking.
a couple. Probably the first one was just my first touchdown. It's like, okay, I can do this against a really good defense in a division opponent first game. I mean, for my teammates, in case to have enough trust in me to call that play, call my number on that, and me to be able to make the play, I mean, that's all that I worked for. I literally visualized that stuff over and over and over again in my head. So when that moment came, I knew what the look was. I was confident.
That's wild.
And then I was ready for it. So, and then just the most thing I'm proud of is just, you don't know when that moment's going to come, when that work that you're putting in You're putting in that work. You don't know when that moment's going to come. It's going to come to light. And I just think back constantly. I'm in that indoor at Ohio State by myself after hours, after workouts, and I'm just working on contested catches. I'm working on jump balls. I'm working on my hands, and just some contested catches that I made this year was really a proud moment for myself, because that's something I struggle with, and oftentimes we kind of run away from the things that we struggle with and don't necessarily attack it. And I didn't shy away from that, and I'm going to continue to try to hone on those skills.
Brian, I've said enough. How much do you love this dude?
I loved him since when he first got here and they started talking about how you were the best special teams player in the draft. I knew that you were a tough SOB.
I appreciate that.
Because guys don't play special teams without having toughness.
Right.
And then when you became the receiver, I was like, okay, because you do it all. You know, Larry Fitzgerald is one of my favorite receivers because Larry Fitzgerald plays football. He doesn't just catch balls.
Exactly.
And I love it. So I
appreciate that. Thank you. So that means a lot coming from you. Thank you so much.
Terry, you are the dude, man. Can you sign this? We're raffling it off a chair.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We got a bunch of folks on there.
It's great. Listen, go ahead, sign it. It's great. It's great having you on. It's every time that we talk, we're more impressed with.
He's a 10-year vet.
Yeah, the guy that you are. It's wild.
It's unbelievable.
So many rookies come in, and you can tell they're rookies. Like you ain't a rookie. Like it's great.
And I appreciate that. I came into a unique scenario in this team, and just looking for a guy that could make plays. And I didn't come in to feel like I knew everything. I learned from Josh Dotson. I learned from Paul Richardson. I learned from AP and Vernon and so many guys. I don't feel like I know it all. I mean, and I feel like when you have that edge to get better and feel like you don't have all the answers, then you're going to continue to improve. And, they say, do you feel like a rookie? At first I did, but kind of towards the end, over the maturation of the season, I couldn't act like a rookie. I couldn't think like a rookie. I couldn't prepare like a rookie. I couldn't practice. I couldn't play like a rookie. So, I appreciate that type of expectations that my teammates and my organization had in me, because I didn't want to shy away from that. That's something that I really wanted.
You have to go, and we appreciate your time. When we come back, we're going to do pros and cons of Miami. Do you have a pro and a con of Miami?
Pro, just the weather.
Sure.
The weather is great year-round.
Yeah.
Con is going to be a little crowded, probably a little expensive, so you may need to save up. But but it's I think everybody should experience Miami, and there's Miami and then there's South Beach. So I think everybody should walk the strip and have a good time.
That's why we bring JP. He just pays for everything all week. Beautiful.
Thank you very much, Terry, man. I appreciate it.
You, Terry.
We are coming right back. If you're a Redskins fan, this is the best stream you've ever watched in your life. I don't know what to tell you. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Call your parents. Tell them about Terry McLaurin. I don't know what else to say.
Call somebody.
I mean this sincerely. If you're a Skins fan and you just watched the last, whatever we did, 45 50 minutes.
Yeah, almost.
B, there's nothing better than what we just did.
No, I mean, you have a...
There's nothing better
You have
than
a
that.
coach that brings a lot of energy, and you can see the players already respect him.
And then you have that kid. Terry McLaurin is a special person, man.
He is. When he's talking, he doesn't sound like a rookie, that guy that just finished his rookie
There are
season.
plenty of people that talk it, right? Like in our world, we know the difference.
He actually walks it like he talks it.
When we were in break, we were just in break, and when he's getting up to go to his PR guy, he says to Brian, he's like, "Good to see you, man, and I want one of those."
And I know he'll work for it.
There was no camera on. There was no Instagram live.
Oh,
That was just him being sincere.
Exactly.
Last year we had
a coach's dream.
Last year we had Coach Gibbs, we had yourself, and we had who was the other?
Mark Schlereth.
Thank you, Mark Schlereth. Yeah,
the guy with
other
3
guy.
Super Bowl rings.
Right.
Yeah.
This year, Ron, Terry McLaurin, it's the best.
Good stuff.
That was the best 45 minutes of potting that we've done since last year.
And now we'll bring on Pete Haley.
You know,
It keeps going up. It keeps going up.
So, Pete, the bar's pretty high.
What do you got, Pete?
Here's what we're going to do. We're all giving our pro and con of Miami. We'll let Pete start. Peter, how are you?
I honestly don't even know what to say. I want to do some shtick, but I just also want to echo what you're saying. That was incredible television, incredible streaming, incredible podcasting. Great job by you. I'll be real quick with my pros and cons. The pro is you can get content like that, and the con is I'm sitting here in a weird fake fireplace room in Bethesda, Maryland, not in Miami. So there you go. You do your thing now.
Mitchell,
my
your pro and
goodness
con.
gracious.
Pete, listen, I know the bosses are watching.
Yes.
I'm speaking this into existence.
Me too.
Pete comes to Tampa with us next year. Period. Point blank, it's happening.
Period.
There are too many people watching this to not be able to afford to send Pete next year to Tampa.
I'll just say
So,
this.
I'm putting the gauntlet down.
There was
It's out
so
there.
many questions I wanted
Pete's
to
gonna be here,
ask
you gonna
Ron
be
and
here.
Terry.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I'll be
the
at home.
problem.
Right.
They're going to send just Pete.
All right.
Jay and I are
My
stuck.
pro is being down here. And it, for me as a former player, coming and being around this and seeing guys, old friends, and getting the opportunity to see the new guys like a Terry come up, that's definitely a pro for me. And a con is my liver when I leave here. It's going to be a con.
We have, go ahead, Mitchell.
No, my con is going to be the alligators because now you got me spooked. I'm a little spooked on the alligators.
Get
My
in
pro
the
is the ocean,
Damn it.
the sand, all of it. It's
You
the
haven't
best.
been to the beach once.
Liar.
When?
You are a liar.
On Monday, before you got here, I was at the beach.
You believe him? I don't.
I believe him.
You were here.
I came here. I had time to kill before the live shot that you missed because you were late.
I made it.
Out of breath at the last second. I had a little time to kill. I went out there.
I don't believe
You're pro and you're con.
My pro, and you got serious, so maybe I should be serious. Being here is special. We're delivering content to Redskins fans, and that means the world to me. But recognizing where you are, like you try to take it in and allow yourself to appreciate all that is Super Bowl week, and especially in Miami, right?
Yeah.
But so that's my sincere one.
Here we
My
go.
pro about Miami, you can order an Uber. You have no idea what you're going to get.
Oh.
We got a Tesla
Tesla.
SUV with
With the
Lamborghini
Lamborghini
doors.
doors that opened up.
It couldn't have come at a cooler time. I ordered an
Sweet.
Uber, and we're at the media party where everybody's waiting for an Uber, and a black Tesla SUV pulls up and puts his doors up, and we get to get in there, and you feel like you're the biggest gang. You feel like Tony Montana.
Juicy.
No, the next day,
My con,
Go ahead.
my con, to your point, Miami is a tequila town. And JP Finlay is not a tequila guy.
Gross.
I need bourbon, and they don't sell it here.
They sell it.
Dude, it's hard to find. I'm telling
It's
you.
not the easiest to find.
Yeah.
But tequila is good.
No, it's not.
Tequila is very,
I'm on the
very,
record.
very, very
Tequila's
good.
not good. I don't want it.
You're wrong.
Casamigos.
My wife likes that.
That's good.
It's not for me. I'm not a tequila guy. Peter, we love you. Tampa.
All right, Pete.
That's your time.
Just
Tampa.
a
JP
brilliant
takes his
show
shirt
by
off
you
when he
guys
drinks
today.
tequila. That's why he doesn't like it.
Brilliant show. Brilliant
Don't
show.
go full Tampa.
No, of course.
Every day on this podcast, on this stream, on this television show, on whatever platform you're accessing this content, we attack success. It starts with Brian Mitchell. What a day. What a damn day.
You're in the middle of a mix.